Welcome viewers to Indigenous Media Network this special edition regarding the involvement of the Gambella Regional Special Force in the conflict in the country. For those people probably who may not know the location of Gambella, Gambella is along the Ethiopian South Sudan border. We all know South Sudan has been experiencing a lot of conflict with a lot of displacement within and also across the country. And one of the areas that is being targeted by the conflict, those people who need international protection, is Gambella. And Gambella has been hosting South Sudanese refugees since 1955. And this has had a significant impact on the local communities. And being that one of the refugees' destination, and also the the need for protection makes it an important role that the indigenous people, the regional government in Gambela can play. Also, I think the region, which is the Ethiopian border along South Sudan border, is about 549 miles, which makes it one of the prone region because of the uh, insecurity across the country. So, this in mind, or with this in mind, I think it would have been sensible for the regional government to look carefully into the need to contribute to the current conflict, which I sometimes call a technical conflict. From the legal perspective, the Constitution of Ethiopia gives a humble mechanism as to what should be done in event that this uncalled for dispute over the territory or over the areas as it is happening at the moment between the TPF and also the national government. So the federal government has the mandate according to Article 51 of the Constitution, Article 1, to protect the Constitution, and this irrespective of whoever uh, had the, the initiative to take the law into their hands. Similarly, the federal authority has the power, as in Article 52. This has given the government a number of powers to initiate all of necessary mechanisms to protect the Constitution. Some, excuse me, I think it is a bit hot here. That is why I am waiting. So that being the case, at the moment, what is going on in the country is contrary to the constitutional provision. The constitutional provision that protects citizens, that also gives state members, including Gambella, the right to protect the constitution. Currently, the current government and the current in line with the current uh, conflict. The current conflict has destroyed lives, has destroyed property, has displaced many people in thousands and thousands. And yet, the regime in power seems to be not taking concrete measures to bring an end to this misery and this suffering of the people in this conflict-prone region. Instead, I think the regime seems to be rallying the public to go and fight the war that is among brothers and sisters. Uh, so this is nothing new. Conflict in Ethiopia has always been there. People of Gambela have also been participating and contributing in their capacity in the 1970s, 1980s conflict in the northern part and also in the eastern part of the country. So as a young man at that time, I do recall when the regime in power, the military junta at the time, was running out options and possibility of winning the war at the time. The government at the time, they resorted to recruiting students from schools, secondary schools, to go and fight war in the northern part of the country during those days. Similarly, I think the government also, the day at that time in the 1970s and 80s, also decided to recruit uh, a number of people, including farmers, from the normal activities to go and fight the war in the northern part of the country. The conflict ended with the victory of the ruling PRF that ruled the country for 27 years, and also until this regime, which is in power, came to uh, take power. So that is an interesting bit because the people of Gambela, irrespective of their role in walk of life, have been always participating in the conflict in the northern part of the country, or in general in the Ethiopian conflict, starting from 1970s, 1980s, including the current one. There are a number of uh, people from Gambela who are now in the army participating in the conflict. There are also those ones who also died and perished in the conflict between Ethiopia and Eritrea. So that uh, is how the people of Gambela have always been significantly taking the national security and also the conflict as an important issue. Uh, but as of now, the uh, conflict that the regime in power, particularly the regional government, has of recent decided to contribute the special force, irrespective of the insecurity situation in Gambela, uh, is concerned to many individuals in the country as well as outside the country. It is to be recalled that last year there was an incursion from across the border where some armed groups came and set along Ethiopia border, place where it's by the Anyuaks, and that has posed a lot of threats to the local population who were living there. It was this same special force that defended that area, the territory, the boundaries, the Ethiopian boundary between uh, Ethiopia and South Sudan. And it is also feared that this area given the insecurity in South or in South Sudan Republic, this area is prone to any attack, and giving some contribution to the current conflict in the north without a proper discussion with political parties in the country, with the political party in the region in particular, does not give any meaningful advantage. We are all aware that this region have always suffered a considerable impact of the government policies, including land grabbing and also widespread of human rights that amount to genocide in 2003 when indigenous communities, the Ainuaks, were targeted uh, alone. And that also is a concern whether that threat has actually gone away or not. It is also in this region that the government targeted the indigenous people traditional land for agricultural purpose. And that remains an issue as we speak today because the process of land grabbing have not yet come to an end. And the concern that there is a possibility also of some form of resistance from the local population who fear the, the, the threat to their livelihood and also to their economy uh, will at some point raise a considerable threat to the security concern. So that is the overall scenario in which the Gambella Regional State have decided to excuse me, have decided to contribute to the current illegal war where the government is not following uh, proper procedures as per the constitution. Because the first conflict initially was about how uh, uh, political differences between the current regime in power and also the PPF, both who at some point were governing Ethiopia with iron fist. So that seems to have ended, but now the current level of integrity between two regions, adjacent or neighboring regions, the Tigray and Amara region, worth looking at it from the danger, from the impact of conflict that this may bring to the country's security and also stability in overall situations. So the role of the Gambella regime with many other members of the federation would have been how to put pressure on the federal government to ensure that peace return to this country and move forward with the spirit of peace without destabilizing the current the country. So that is what I'm here for. I will come back again with some more information. So stay tuned. Welcome back, viewers. So, as I mentioned earlier on, this conflict, the genesis of it was political, but it has now turned out that conflict, political differences between the current regime and the TPLF came to an end when the regime in power declared in a lateral ceasefire. But the current which is going on at the moment is now about territory, and with also the dispute on who owns this particular part of territory that is being disputed by the two parties. And the results is devastating. People are dying, people are being displaced, people are also now do not have time to cultivate, to farm. So in this sense, I think the danger is very looming on the population, both in these disputed areas and also those people who are being dragged to fight in this conflict that could be resolved through constitutional means. Because the Constitution clearly states that any disputes of boundary or territory can be given due attention by the federal government and also by the parties that are involved into the dispute. So this comes to the point that the role of the Gambela people participate in the border dispute between Amara and Tigray. So with the fact that they also have insecurity threat with about 1,000 kilometers border between South Sudan, and this border is open without any meaningful defense. So it would be uh, something that the regional government of Gambela should have actually thought about before sending this. What makes this also very precarious is the fact that the government or the regional government for that matter did not consult the political parties that are in the region or operating in the region. So the region also has a mandate to protect about half a billion refugee population from across the border from South. So this development that uh, is now being feared to turn out to be ethnic is dangerous, and this ethnic conflict, as we all know, has always gone in a wrong direction, where many people go and attack the civilians. Rwanda is the case. Bosnia Herzegovina is also the case. This, I think, the regime in power need to reconsider its position to talk the language of peace rather than, uh, declaring war, so that can sort out this between the two members of federation, Tigray and Amara. So overall, I think this conflict, since it started in the last about more than eight months, so it has really brought a lot of devastation to the livelihood of the entire population, livelihood of uh, people who had no or who have no uh, interest in pursuing this conflict in general. So I think the best way forward is to resolve this conflict peacefully, so that people can go back to their normal. If it is the issue of dispute on the border, this can be looked uh, by the constitution, and so this needs to be given chance. So I think this is what I'm trying to say, to ensure that the people of Gambela have actually been dragged into this conflict, which is between two members of the state, so that they can sort it out peacefully rather than resulting it into conflict. So that is what I'm trying to put. So I will come back again. Welcome back again. So, as stated, I think the current conflict has so many dimensions. Initially, it was a political uh, dispute between the current regime and also the the TPLF. Both of them that governed the country for 27 years, that has been uh, called for change of regime in power at that time, and which now this regime now came to power. So what we should do as a people of the country, there is legal mechanisms that this conflict can be resorted or it can be resolved. Instead of going to conflict, instead of resorting to war, to violent conflict, I think it is in the best interest of all the European people to talk about peace rather than war, because war does not really help any other. Instead, it's very destructive to both the parties who are involved. So the role of the government should be how to resolve this rather than using us as a way uh, to silence or to discipline the other group who are now being pursued. So I think that is what I'm here for talking about. So thank you. I hope you will enjoy that music.